is Vijayalaxmi and I am working with version 1 as an HR into compensation and benefits domain. My previous experience is with Tata and Aditi Consulting, wherein my initial journey of my career started as a recruiter, which I was hiring for Facebook and US areas. Then I joined Tata Marco Polo as into HR department. There I handled most of the talent acquisition and operations part of it, HR operations. Then later, moving ahead, I narrowed down my career to compensation and benefits domain. Right now I'm working as a compensation and benefits HR analyst in version 1. So basically we are UK and Ireland based company. We are widespread across Spain, UK, Ireland, India, US, Australia, Slovenia. So we basically have a worldwide domain, global presence of HR and other consulting IT technology consulting firms. So my work is basically narrowed down to when it comes to HR. There are specifically a lot of teams and domains comes under HR. It is not just talent acquisition, it is not just salaries. So I am mostly into compensation and benefits, wherein my role is narrowed down to benchmarking the salaries and when you want to give performance appraisals to someone, how you give that. So basically I'm mostly into that. We will see in brief about it, everything going ahead. So before I begin, I just wanted to understand, when it comes to HR, what is your basic understanding? You can, anybody or any one of you can tell me what is basic understanding of HR. Anyone?
The total introduction session, we have to answer.
Okay, so I wanted to make it clear. So before I begin, I have curated my entire session into two different activities. First one, I am going to brief you about the different departments and different domains of HR. Then second half is going to be totally interactive. I'm going to assign you some activities wherein you can understand the real life, how an HR what actually an HR does, the real life on how a real life of an HR looks like. So as long as you guys are cooperating and active, we can make it a successful one. So nobody is wrong, nobody is right here. I just want you guys to be active as much as you can. Okay, so again, starting with my first question, by HR, what is your basic understanding? Nobody is wrong, nobody is right, just simple answers. Okay, good. Next. Yeah, you can sit. Anybody? So how many of you think the work of an HR is just talent acquisition and or recruitment? And how many of you think the work of an HR is doing rangolis? Nobody. Okay, good. Good that we have smart colleagues, smart audience with us. Moving ahead with next slide. First, what comes to HR when you think of an HR, what comes to your mind? Someone said talent acquisition. That is very rightly said. Talent acquisition is part of HR domain. So it is not just salary, it is not just interviews, it is not just notice period. When we go ahead with HR, as I said, it is not just hiring, it is not just rangoli. As we can see on so many social medias, people are making fun of an HR that all HR does is rangolis. So as far as my career goes, I have never done rangoli, not even a single one so far. So what is HR if I say? It is managing people, skills, culture and growth. Okay, so by people, what do you mean? People is not just your employees. You are managing human resources. You are interacting them as a human, not an employee. Because employees are supposed to be treated as a human being. They are not robots. They are not just there to work for you. They also have a personal life. So everything. HR builds a bridge between a management and employees, wherein they try to manage the work-life balance as well as the personal life. So if someone is doing any extra time, any overtime, we try to help them out by saying not to work extra time, or we try to compensate for any extra work they have done. So we are building that bridge between where employees are felt belonged. They are not just exhausted by end of the day. So that bridge we are creating. Skills, if someone is for example, any of you are obtaining good marks, so your teachers will definitely recognize you for that. So once you enter the corporate world, who is going to recognize you? Your teachers are not going to come there. So someone has to recognize you. So if you are doing something great, if you are doing more than what you are supposed to do, that is definitely recognized, and an HR comes into picture, wherein for everything you do is recognized, is valued, and maybe it can be recognized into monetary terms, into there are a lot of functions, a lot of areas where you can, for example, recognition programs we do, wherein we try to provide them compensation, monetary programs, or some kind of coupons, that is everything. So that builds a strong base of employees wherein they can feel belonged and they can work more, they can try to achieve more. By getting that, when you are rewarded, of course you try to achieve more, you try to build something more than what you are supposed to, or what someone else is doing. By that, if someone is performing really well and that is recognized and that is put forward, of course company will also grow along with that. So that comes into skill building. So when culture, as I said, when we are working into vast domain where not just India, if you are working into different domains, for example, may it be US, may it be Australia, may it be UK. So how are you going to make two employees or a team work together when there is a lot of cultural differences? What you say, you're going to tell them I'm going to Diwali holiday. Are they going to understand that? No. If they come and tell you I'm going to Thanksgiving holiday, are you going to understand that? No. So what culture building is, you're trying to put together maybe a sessions, maybe activities wherein everyone felt belonged, everyone is valued, everyone is recognized. There are a lot of cultural building activities such as the building culture of different race, different region. So everyone is felt belonged and everyone is working in a combined healthy workspace. So by doing that, you are building culture, you are managing culture. Growth, as I rightly said, the skill thing, when you are focused more on growth, when when you want to focus on the employer growth, for example, the organization's growth, you don't directly focus on organization growth. The first thing to keep in picture is that you are focusing on the employee growth. The more employee grows, of course the employer will also grow. So the focus is managing the gap between employees growth and the employer's growth. That comes into picture. So when someone now says what is an HR, anybody wants to answer now? It is not just talent acquisition, it is more than that. Okay, talent acquisition is also a part of it. So when I say the different kind of teams where you can come across in HR. So in HRD, one line I can explain it as helping people grow so that companies can grow. Okay, is that simple words, simple terms. Okay, next question. So let us focus on what are the different areas of an HR. Anybody? Different areas. Talent acquisition, one person said. Anything else you can think? Any departments come into HR? Any divisions, any teams? Anything you can think of? Then you said performance appraisal. Of course, that comes into performance and rewards team. And when you said leave management, that comes into HR ops. Another ma'am said talent acquisition, that is also a domain itself. So in brief, we are going to learn what are the, I'm going to keep it very basic. I'm not going to deep dive into anything. Okay, we are going to understand what each one of this department does, because when I first started my career, I knew nothing about HR. Though I learned in my MBAs, it was all definition. I did not know what was their operations, how do they actually work, what is the real life scenario, what is the real life crisis you are going to face. Okay, so that you can understand once you start working. To understand that, I'm going to keep a very basic concept, what kind of problems you may face, what kind of work you will be doing as an HR, what each department does. So basically you can understand each department and plan your career based on if you want to pursue your career into HR, which one is more interesting. Okay. So based on that, let us move ahead with first department, that is talent acquisition. So talent acquisition is nothing but recruitment. So by recruitment, what do you understand by recruitment? What is your basic understanding how a recruitment is done? Any ideas?
Reviewing CV.
Okay. Then what comes into your mind when you think of into recruitment? As I only give the answer. Interview, yeah. And anything else? Okay. So recruitment is basically reviewing CVs. So if a job is come to you, for example, if a team wants, say, a software developer, so how you are going to start from end-to-end recruitment? It is called end-to-end recruitment, wherein you start. Your first step would be you get the job description, that is JD. You start cracking the JD. You try to understand what all the skills required, what is the experience that is required for this job, and what kind of education they are looking for. What is the location they are looking for? For example, if someone is looking for a software developer based out of Bangalore who is having 5 years experience and who is proficient with Java, how are you going to analyze this? For example, you may get thousands of CVs. There are many portals which, for example, now LinkedIn, there are many portals. How are you going to search this? There is something called as key skills. Okay, Boolean search is a word which is used wherein you make your Boolean search, you understand the key skills and you make a Boolean search of it. So what is Boolean search? Anything. For example, you are searching something on LinkedIn or Google, Facebook. What do you search? You search the names. On Facebook, if you are stalking someone, what do you search? You search their names or the college or the city they are belonging in. Same thing you do on recruitment platforms, wherein instead of the names, you put the key skills. What key skills you are putting? For example, as I said, we are hiring for software developer we are looking for someone who is proficient with Java. What you are going to put there? Software developer or Java. Then what is the kind of experience you are looking? 5 years? So you are going to put maybe 4 to 7 years, wide range you are keeping. If you want to narrow down exactly at 5 years, you can do that also, but I am just telling you a wide example of it. So that you do. And what is your location? Bangalore. That you're going to do, and you get n number of results and number of profiles in front of you. Next thing you do is you take each one of the resumes, you compare it with your JD. Okay, which one is the best match? And once you find the best match, you start calling those people and you talk to them. That is called first round of recruitment, wherein you call the people, you try to understand, you communicate with them basically. And by communication, what do? For example, I'm a recruiter, I'm calling you. What things do you expect me to tell you? First thing you expect is the company name. Okay, what kind of job it is, what is the experience, same thing you are also expecting. For example, you to join any company, you try to understand what kind of position it is, where it is located, then what salary they are paying, what is the experience level they are looking, what is the team size, what kind of work you will be doing, what are the timings of your work. So these all things you communicate to the candidate first. Okay, once you do that, if the candidate is happy, next thing you do is you try to align an interview with the hiring managers. Okay, there may be sometimes there is only 1 or 2 rounds of interview, sometimes it may drag up to 5 to 7 rounds of interview. It is totally dependent on the hiring managers. So once you do that, you try to align an interview, you take their time slots, you take these people's time slots, you align an interview. And once you do that, once everyone is okay, if that candidate is happy to join, this person is happy to hire him, next thing comes into picture is salary negotiation. Okay, by salary negotiation, what do you understand? What is your basic idea of salary negotiation? Any answers? So I'll give you a rough example. You are a recruiter and I'm a candidate, and your budget is say 30 lakhs and I'm currently earning 20 lakhs. If I come and ask you 40 lakhs, will you give me that? No. And will you come and tell me that my budget is 30 lakh upfront? Or are you trying to make any, savings to the company? Of course, you try to negotiate as much as you can so that company can save. Okay, that is called salary negotiation. So when I say I'm earning 20 lakhs and your budget is 30 lakhs, first thing you do is you start with 21 lakhs or 30% of whatever 20 lakhs is, or you ask the candidate first, what is your expectations? When the expectations are more than what your budget is, you say, no, this is not something I can give, my budget is slightly less. I can give, tell me your best ask. You ask the candidate first. It is as good as bargaining into the market. Okay, so you're asking them, then you try to negotiate, and you both are like win-win situation. In a win-win situation, you are giving them whatever he is happy with. Also, at the same time, whatever the company is saving. So once that is done, next thing comes up is the offer generation. Once the offer is generated, once it is released, you check with the candidate when he can join. For example, if someone is having say 90 days notice period, you try to negotiate with them, like, is it negotiable? Can you join before 90 days? Okay, in 90 days anything can happen. Other company may call him and give whatever you have provided more than that. So you try to negotiate. Also, your team is in a need of an employee, so you try to negotiate and come up with a start date, joining date. That is recruitment basically. So once the candidate joins, there are other processes. For example, his onboarding, then his next step comes ahead is next departments will take care of it. So basically what talent acquisition is now, it is finding, interviewing, hiring and onboarding. Okay, any questions? No? Okay, we'll go ahead with next slide. That is operations, HR operations. I know. So, HR operations is basically ensures smooth functioning of the organization by managing core processes like payroll, compensation and benefits, leave management, policies and compliance. Okay. So as your ma'am rightly said, leave management is a part of HR operations. So once an employee has joined, so he needs to get his salary on time, one thing. Then smooth functioning has to be done, and his salary needs to be aligned. That's fine, it's okay. So his salary needs to be aligned. So first thing comes into picture is when we talk about HR operations, the salaries. Okay. So if someone has joined a company, for example, I have joined a company and I have worked for say 20 days. 10 days I have gone AWOL, that is I have not informed anyone and I have not taken any official leave. I have just gone. And in my attendance system there is no attendance of it. Okay, there is no input that I have logged in or no. So how are you going to manage such situation? Are you going to pay him the full salaries of entire 1 month? No. So that is payroll basically. You try by the end of the month, you try to understand how many days a colleague has worked, what is his salary, how many days he has worked, how many days I should pay him. Are there any further deduction? For example, if my company is providing the insurance, health insurance to a person, and if he has included his family to it, whether he is charged for that. Are there any further deduction or are there any further additions? For example, if this person has worked extra, he has done some additional work, or he has done something, he has worked over the holidays or something. So how are you going to compensate that person? That everything comes into picture of payroll. By the end of the month, you calculate if someone has worked any extra time, any overtime, or any time he has worked over the weekends or holidays. How are you going to compensate that person? And if someone has not worked at all, how are you going to deduct that person's salaries? So everything, any compensation, any salary related deductions or additions will come into a picture of payroll. Okay. Then comes compensation and benefits. As I said, during talent acquisition, there is a set budget. Okay. So how that set budget came into picture? Any idea? Okay, so what compensation and benefits does is they participate in surveys, for example, Deloitte or WTW, Mercer's. There are many companies like that, which in what they do is they do a salary survey basically. Okay, they contact all the employers, all the other companies, for example, IBM, Version 1, so and so companies. They collaborate with them. They take all the salaries and they take an average median of that. Okay, that median is market median. Okay, I hope I'm not going too fast or something, not going over the head or something. Clear so far? Okay, so they do is they take the salary median of that particular role, that is market median. So when you are setting a budget for a role, you take the market median. Basically it is average or median of all the employers out there. You go to any company, they'll be having the same salary around 30-40% difference here and there, but the salary will be set same. Nobody is giving, like for example, one company is giving 5 lakh for certain position and other company is giving 30 lakhs for position. Everyone would want to join that 30 lakhs company. So to set that, we are setting a market median. That is where compensation and benefits come into picture. We are setting a market median of salaries for specific roles. And if someone is hired, and every year the market median will change with inflation. For example, if one role is being paid 10 lakhs this year, next year that will be paid 11 lakhs. Okay, so if that is the case, how are you going to align your employees' salaries next year? How are you going to check whether the person is getting paid rightly or not? How are you going to do that? That everything, those operations comes under compensation and benefits. Okay, then comes leaves and policies. What is leaves and policies? When someone, for example, every companies will have their set leave management systems or leave policies, where as per the government law, everyone is supposed to get 10 or 11 or 12 leaves per year. Those are government leaves. For example, Republic Day, Independence Day. These are all government rules. By default, you will get, if you are employed in India, you will get those leaves. Apart from that, you will be given, say for example, 20 to 30 leaves on annum. So how are you going to manage those? If someone is given 24 leaves, how are you going to manage those? How are you going to track who has taken how many leaves and how many is left in his balance? If I am an employee and I don't know anything about leave policy and I think that 24 leaves per month, I'll take everything and sit. How are you going to manage that? That is leave management. When someone is taking more holidays in a month, or someone is taking holidays without any information, that is leave policy. HR will intervene and check what is the problem, what is actually happening, why this person is off sick so many days, okay, why he or she is not coming to work. Everything comes into picture. Basically an ER or HR person will be handling that. Then going ahead, after HR operations, we have learning and development. Okay, so far so good. Any questions about HR operations? No. Okay, so learning and development. What is learning and development? Learning and development ensures people are always learning so they can perform better and progress in their professional journey. Okay, so if say example, if an employee has joined, he is doing his job, how are you going to plan his engagement? How are you going to plan his development? For example, if a person has joined 20 years back and he is still doing the same job, and there are new technologies coming into market. For example, AI is one of them. How are you going to make sure that person is well aware what AI does, how it is helpful to his curriculum or his whatever he is doing, his performance? How are you going to do that? For example, how your teachers are aligning some certain workshops for you guys. Similarly, learning and development will bring all the professionals together and align certain workshop or certain training courses. So the employers are, well informed. They are up to the market whatever the technology is. That is training. Upskilling, again, you can provide certain certifications. You can provide them if someone wants to, do certain masters while they are working. You can. Certain companies do provide the leeway of, giving them doing higher studies, or they give them, for example, the leaves, or certain companies provide, funding for their tuition fees or the college fees, wherein that will be recovered from their salaries, of course, but somewhere you can't, if there will be certain percentage where company will be providing, which will help them, adapt to more upskilling types. That is upskilling. Career growth, by doing training and upskilling, you are definitely building the person's career. And also there is something called as engagement, wherein if you are doing 9 to 5 job daily, by end of the week, by end of Friday, you all will be bored. How are you going to keep the employees engaged? How are you going to plan that they come on Monday with, fresh enthusiasm? How are you going to plan that? There are certain, sessions organized, Fun Friday, certain sessions organized, for example, team outing, team building, activities. By doing all these, you can make sure the team is, any team of your organization, they are, well aligned with what they are doing by doing team activities, by doing certain outings. For example, one of the companies previously had went to team outing for Kurk. By doing that, you are providing that leeway to the employees, wherein they can, go out, enjoy, build their team, come up with fresh minds and start working. That is one activities. By doing that, you are helping employees by building their career. If with fresh mind comes fresh ideas. Okay, that all comes into learning and development. Any questions so far? As I previously said, if someone is working, more than what he is accepted, how are you going to reward that? What is performance and rewards? How employees are evaluated and recognized. Okay. So if, for example, if someone at a level 2 position, mid-level position person, software developer, he is working beyond his, KPIs is key performance indicator. If he is performing more than what he is expected out of, are you going to leave it to there? Or are you going to recognize it and give him, you are being recognized. Here is what we can do for you, for your extra work you have been doing. So that is taken care by performance and rewards team, wherein every year there is a performance cycle, appraisal cycle happens, wherein every employee is reviewed based on their last 4 quarters performance, and based on that and based on the benchmarking, salary benchmarking, we try to align their salaries. Also, we try to give anybody, who is working hard or who is working beyond their expectations, we try to reward them. If someone at level 2 is working, what a level 3 should be working, we try to bring that person to level 3, and we try to align his market median, his salary, so that with, money, if you are giving someone more salary, of course he would want to do more work. With that work, of course, the team and the organization is growing. So you try to align, you try to recognize the talent, by which you are creating a collaborative environment. So that is performance and rewards. And next comes is employee relations. Okay, employee relations is about managing day-to-day people issues, resolving conflicts, addressing concerns, and ensuring employees feel supported and happy at work. Okay, so by day-to-day concerns, what do you understand? Any answers? What an employee's day-to-day concerns would be? Any rough answers? Okay, so when I say day-to-day issues or problems, if someone say is having certain family problem and he wants to take certain leaves, but he is he has exhausted his all annual leaves, then how are you going to provide him that leeway of getting more leaves? That is an issue, right? So how are you going to manage such a situation wherein he has exhausted all his leaves, but he needs emergency leaves? Someone at his family is in need of emergency attention. So how are you going to? You can either provide him leave without pay, but he is in need of money. How are you going to do that? How are you going to tackle that problem? That all comes into employee relations. If someone is sick if someone is sick and he has taken already 7 days of leave and nobody from his team knows where he is or he is not answering any calls, that in that case employee relations will come into picture. They try to contact an employee, they try to understand what the problem is, why he is on leave for so long, is there anything we can help you so that you can recover easily. That all things comes into employee relation. Also, apart from these are all personal problems. We're talking about professional problems. If an employee is having a difficult manager, if that manager is asking him to work more than what he is expected, if he is asking him to stretch his work hours, if someone is coming and telling him last moment, I want this report by next 1 hour at 9 o'clock, of course employee is not going to be happy. What the best thing he can do, where he can reach out to, because his manager is being difficult to him. The next best person comes is HR. They can come and talk to HR, wherein ER comes to in picture and they can try to resolve the problems. What is happening? What the HR does is they try to understand that, hear both the stories. They try to understand whether was this report expected or was this informed to you earlier. Is this is this the situation where employee is wrong, or is this a situation where the manager is wrong? So they try to understand and handle the conflict. These all scenarios are day-to-day scenarios wherein if you are getting into ER, such scenarios you will be facing day to day. So such scenarios you have to work, you have to listen to both the parties and try to give solution where both are happy. You can't take sides here. You can't take employee sides or you can't take manager sides. You have to be at neutral position and try to come to a solution where both are happy and both are recognized. Okay, that is it so far. Any questions? No questions? No? Okay. So how an HR day would look like? I told you basically. Anybody wants to answer based on these 4-5 teams I explained how a day would look like of an HR life? Any rough answers? Nobody is wrong or nobody is right. Come on. Yeah.
And development career and skill knowledge.
Okay. So basically HR's life revolves around these. Day to day you are doing talent acquisition, you are maintaining their payroll, you are maintaining their leave management, you are training them, you are trying to resolve conflicts or trying to resolve issues if someone is facing. By doing all of this, what you are doing, you are building a healthy environment where employees are recognized for whatever they are doing and supported wherever required. By doing this, if the environment is healthy, employees will definitely perform good. If employees are performing good, definitely the organization will grow. So now if someone asks you what an HR does, you should be able to answer this. Okay? Next, we will I want you guys to split between 3 groups among yourself. So each group I'll assign one activity. Considering I'm a new joinee, you're welcoming me to your company. Okay? How will you welcome?
We start with the greetings, ma'am.
Okay. Don't call me ma'am. I'm just your employee. Okay? Take one random name from that list and talk to me. Okay? I'm an employee. I don't know nothing about your company. I know nothing.
Welcome, Sunny.
Thank you.
I am a HR here.
Okay.
So today I am going to take a interview for you.
Mhm.
So tell me about yourself.
Okay. So I've already joined. This is not interview. I've already joined your company. So you have to welcome me to your company as an employee. Okay. So how will you welcome me if someone has already joined your company? There won't be any interviews. Interview is done already. That is welcoming. That is onboarding. That comes after interviewing and talent acquisition. Okay, how are you going to welcome me?
As we discussed yesterday,
Mhm.
we come to know that you are very good candidate for our company.
Mhm.
We are very impressed with your experience and your skills.
Thank you.
So we think that you are the good person to make our organization successful for achieving our goal. You are the most available candidate, I think. So I welcome you.
Thank you. So, can you show me where is my team sits and when will I get my laptop and set up everything?
After 2 days, we will give you laptop
Okay.
and we will make a teams in 1 week.
Okay.
Based on that, we will give some assignments works.
Okay.
Based on that, you have to.
Okay. And will there be any induction programs? Induction as in you meet each team and you understand which department sits. Basically, you are showing them around your company. So if someone comes to your house, you give them the house tour, right? Similarly, you give them the company tour.
Yes, here we have so many departments like account departments,
Mhm.
HR departments,
Mhm.
sales and sales department
Yeah.
like we have. You from your experience and we are assigning you as an in accounts
Okay.
department. So in that you have to make analysis of financial statements
Mhm.
like balance sheet,
Mhm.
profit and loss. Based on that, we will assign you the work
Okay. And what are the office timings?
from 9 to 5.
And will there be any cab facilities available?
Yes, we are providing only one time cab.
Okay. And how about lunch? Will I be getting lunch?
Yes, we provide only one time meal.
Okay. And how about coffee services? How about coffee?
Yes, morning and evening we will provide coffee.
Okay, good. I'm getting everything I need in this company.
So welcome.
Okay. So next question is, what are the checklists you're going to check? Whether I have bought everything. What is the documents you have listed down?
Firstly, resume and CV.
Okay.
Then if you are experienced, then we will ask for experience letter.
Good.
And then we will ask for your past company salary receipts also.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Then your personal details like Aadhaar card
Yes.
and that use.
Okay. Educational details also you should ask.
And resume only that.
No, you should ask for the Xerox copy of the 10th, 12th and degree certificates, everything whatever is there in CV. You should ask for the Xerox copy of that so that it is matching what they have mentioned in the CV. I can mention I have PhD from US, but do I have? No. So you verify it based on that. That is the checklist you are doing. And there is also something called as provident fund and everything, insurance, everything comes into picture. You ask the colleague that if he has previous organization, did he have any provident fund account? So if he has, there is one unique identification number which is continued in your organization as well. Finance department will take care of that, but you need to take that number from him and give it to finance department. These are the things you should check when an employee is joining. Okay, good job.
First and foremost, I express my sincere and heartfelt gratitude to our resource person, Srimati Vijayalaxmi D, for taking valuable time from your busy schedule, yes, and sharing your knowledge and experience with us, madam. Your session was very highly informative, practical, and very useful for all our students, ma'am. We thank you, ma'am.